We're here today with one of my all-time favorite people on the planet. This is Tom Cook. Tom, at the edge of the village in Indian. I have trouble with the pronunciation in Indian. You are? And we're lucky enough for him to share one of his favorite stories with us.
The most impactful event of my life was the death of my father when I was 4 years old. And when he was killed in an aircraft explosion, he was a Marine aviator. After the funeral and for long periods following, all I had left of my dad was his belongings packed in the garage. I'd go through them and discover these black-tipped eagle feathers, these outfits that they made back in the 30s and 40s, and I'd stare at these feathers and beadwork and instruments and drums and just wonder, how did they use these? What were they for? How? What? And had all these questions stemming from this eagle feather and the instruments that our dad had created as part of the cultural renaissance that took place in the 1930s here. Illustrating that culture continues through generations, and even if your main personage, your own dad, disappeared from your life, you still have his instruments, the things that he valued. And that was the most foundational and impactful memory of my life, was following these feathers. What were they used for? What did they mean? How did they do it? What were the protocols, procedures, ceremonies? That became an abiding interest to me, such that through the last 40 years on Pine Ridge, we were fortunate to come from a strong traditional family on Pine Ridge that provided us the impetus, the direction, the indications of our life through the decades. We participated in the Native American church in South Dakota, an ancient plant medicine religion involving peyote, a cactus that is a spiritual experience, and around which an elaborate ceremony all night in a teepee with singing and prayers, a beat and a current of culture that is attractive to any human being. That and the sun dancing that we've done. We just came back 4 days ago, from conducting a sun dance in Mexico by Guadalajara in the Sierra Mountains above Ixtlan. We had 108 dancers, all natives. They look more Indian than us guys, and are strong, have their families, and they want a way to connect to the life of the world around us, nature, each other, ceremonies, and community. It's part of what we started way back in the 60s. We didn't start, but continued this White Roots of Peace tradition among Iroquois people and history of traveling to communicate these principles and foundational things of native life. I've sundanced 42 times in the years I've been out there, and have conducted this ceremony for 18 years in the Black Hills of South Dakota. We had 82 dancers in June at our ceremony, and we've learned the steps, process, procedure, and it's become a strong foundational setting and expression of relationships that you can imagine. The culture will guide and provide the salvation of people, because inside every native person is the DNA that carries the codes, the needs, the way to relate and connect and communicate to the world of nature, of which God is all of nature and all of nature is God. Then you start to address and participate with these entities of life, and it makes you strong, makes you connected, gives you, provides for a vision of how to mend, to heal, help people. And that's been our biggest satisfaction, is the extension of the White Roots of Peace ideas that are a long ancient tradition in this culture and other Iroquois reservations that has taken me just across the country and now into South America, where the message, the principles of the white roots, the bright roots of peace can find expression and get the participation of more and more and more people. So much so that last year there were 63 sundances on Pine Ridge Reservation itself. This year there's another couple of dozen more, and they're going on right now across Pine Ridge and these other Lakota reservations and very many other places that are attracted to the direct relationship provided by ceremonial settings. That's been the most satisfying part of our lives, that we're able to participate and to help.
Wow. Tom, thank you very much.
Yeah.